Have you ever met someone and just instantly clicked? I mean, you can't really put your finger on it, but you walk away from the conversation feeling, I don't know, energized and just plain good. Today, we're going to unpack the secret ingredient behind those truly magnetic personalities.
It's so true, right? With them, the conversation just flows. There's no forcing it. You find yourself laughing, you're genuinely interested, and you actually look forward to the next time you'll see them. It just feels easy.
Now, you might think, oh, it's just about having a lot in common. But it turns out there's something much, much deeper going on here. It's about a fundamental framework for how they see the world and, in turn, how they see you. So, what is their secret? Well, the answer really boils down to this incredible concept from psychologist Carol Dweck. She basically said that people fall into one of two camps based on their mindset, either fixed or growth. And this one little distinction, it explains so much about how we interact with each other.
Okay, so first up, the fixed mindset. This is the idea that we are what we are, Our talents, our personality, our smarts, it's all pretty much set in stone. If you think you're bad at public speaking, well, you'll always be bad at it. There's no real point in trying to change. It's a very final and honestly a pretty limiting way of seeing yourself.
But then you've got the total opposite, the growth mindset. This is the belief that we're all in a state of constant evolution. Who you are today, that's just a starting point. With some real effort and practice, you can get better at almost anything. So you're not a great cook right now? You can totally work on it. Your potential isn't some fixed number. It's something you can build on.
And this right here lays it all out so clearly. Just look at the motivation for each one. Someone with a fixed mindset is driven by this need to look smart at all costs. So, naturally, failure becomes this huge threat to their entire identity. But for the growth mindset, the whole game is about learning at all costs. And when that's your goal, suddenly failure isn't a bad thing at all. It's just data. It's an opportunity to get better.
Okay, so this is all happening inside our own heads, right? But the real question is, how does this internal way of thinking affect our relationships with other people? Well, it turns out it has this massive ripple effect that completely shapes the vibe of our friendships. Let's dig into that.
This is such a brilliant way to put it. For someone stuck in a fixed mindset, every single person in every single situation becomes a kind of mirror. They are constantly looking into it and asking, how does this make me look? Am I measuring up? And this leads to what you could call a defensive friendship. It's guarded. You always feel like you're being judged or sized up. You might even notice a little smirk from them when you slip up. There's this constant, kind of uncomfortable game of one-up-manship going on. And what's the end result? You start to hold yourself back, because you just can't take risks when you feel like you're constantly being evaluated. But with a growth mindset, the entire dynamic just shifts. Since the whole scary concept of failure is pretty much off the table, there's no longer a need for that constant self-evaluation. The focus can finally move away from competition and toward real, genuine connection. And this creates a totally different kind of friendship, an open one. You have the freedom to just be yourself, to explore weird ideas, and to make mistakes without being afraid. These are the friends who are genuinely, truly happy for you when you succeed, because your win isn't their loss. You feel understood, you feel accepted, and when you're with them, even bad moods just seem to fade away.
I mean, this table just says it all, doesn't it? Look at that contrast. A fixed mindset friendship is all about self-protection, competition, and judgment. It just creates this tense, guarded vibe. But a growth mindset friendship, that's about mutual exploration, celebration, and support. The whole atmosphere is relaxed and open. It's just night and day.
So this is the big question, right? How do we actually get more of this in our own lives? Well, the great news is that your mindset isn't permanent. You're not stuck. We all have the power to consciously choose connection over competition and become that growth-minded friend for others. And here's the kind of sad irony in all of this. That person in your life who seems so arrogant and competitive, a lot of the time, it's actually coming from a place of deep insecurity. They're competing because they desperately want to feel worthy of admiration and of connection. So by trying so hard to prove their worth, they accidentally push away the very thing they're looking for.
This is such a powerful idea to hold on to. Just like a fixed mindset can be contagious, spreading that feeling of defensiveness and competition, a growth mindset can be too. By adopting it yourself, you have the potential to be the antidote. You can actually stop that cycle and inspire the people around you to grow with you.
So how do we actually put this into practice? It really boils down to 4 simple but super powerful steps. First, learn to laugh at yourself.
Just take yourself a little less seriously. Then, shift your focus outwards by asking other people more questions. Embrace your own imperfections. They're what make you human and relatable. And finally, make it a real habit to genuinely cheer for other people's wins. Every one of these steps moves you away from judgment and closer to connection.
So, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Take a second and really consider your own relationships. Who are the people who make you feel safe enough to explore and mess up? And maybe even more importantly, who do you provide that same safe space for? Because that right there is where the real magic happens.